everyone, this is Jay the Geek, and in this video I'm going to be showing you why I switched from an 11-inch MacBook Air to a 13-inch MacBook Air, and how I like the 13-inch compared to the 11-inch model. So recently I have replaced my 11-inch MacBook Air with a 13-inch MacBook Air, and this is to do with two things. One, I have always wondered if I would enjoy more screen real estate than what the 11-inch had to offer, and two, I had the opportunity to replace my 11-inch because I had an issue with the 11-inch's display. This issue was completely random. It was a horizontal line that would appear, and then after a minute or less, disappear off of the display. Here are some pictures I took of it with my iPhone. It wouldn't show up in a screenshot, so I figured it was related to hardware and not software. So I took it into my local Apple store, and they told me that it needed a new display. So I got this repair, figured the issue was fixed, but the issue appeared again. So, I was kind of confused, so I took it back, and this time they gave me a logic board repair. And only a few days after getting this logic board repaired, the issue appeared once again. So I was really frustrated at this point. I called the store and asked what the next step was, because I already had two repairs that didn't do anything. So then they told me they'd give me a replacement 11-inch Air. It was all free because I was still in the 1-year warranty, so that's good. But unfortunately, to my horror, after I got this replacement, it had the same issue. So after this, I had to repeat the issue in a separate partition to prove that it wasn't related to my data as Apple was trying to say it was. It turned out to be a hardware issue, and the store gave me a full refund of the original purchase price of the 11-inch Air, which I then used to get the 13-inch Air. So now the question is, do I like the 13-inch more than the 11-inch? And the answer is yes, I love the 13-inch Air, and I'll give you my main reasons for liking it more than the 11-inch. First of all is the thinness and overall design. It's just as high quality as the 11-inch, the aluminum feels great, and it's certainly just as thin as you can see here. It is also just as lightweight as the 11-inch. Yes, it's half a pound heavier, and it's a bit harder for me to hold it by the corner in one hand like I used to do with the 11-inch, but half a pound of weight is certainly a small price to pay for a much more spacious laptop. You can still easily pick it up and plop it in your bag and carry it around with you all day, just as you would with the 11-inch. Next is the addition of the SD card slot. I bought a camera shortly after getting my 11-inch Air, so though this feature wasn't important before I bought the camera, after I bought the camera it became a must-have. It's simple but very convenient, and I really like having it on the 13-inch Air. One of my favorite things about the 13-inch Air is the larger palm rests. This is something I ignored when buying the 11-inch, and I never really let it bother me, but after getting the 13-inch, I soon realized that it is so nice to be able to fit your entire wrist on the palm rest as you type. It makes for a much more comfortable and enjoyable typing experience. As you can see here, I can fit my entire hand on the palm rest, and every finger can reach every key. This allows me to type with ease, and I would definitely say that this is the best keyboard I've ever used, hands down. One thing I'll mention about the MacBook Air's keyboard is that the top row of keys on the 13-inch is slightly taller than the top row on the 11-inch, but with the exception of the top row, all the other keys are exactly the same size and the layout is the same. As soon as I opened the lid of my 13-inch Air for the first time, I noticed how much bigger the trackpad was compared to the 11-inch. This is really nice because it gives me more room for scrolling and for swiping between desktops and full-screen apps. It also makes pinching gestures much easier, and I feel a lot less cramped when performing gestures on the trackpad. And of course, the biggest difference between the 11-inch and the 13-inch is the screen size. One of the nicest things about having more screen space is you see more content without having to scroll. As you can see here, I can see an entire page of a document all at once without having to scroll down. So on the 11-inch, I maybe can only see 3/4. On the 13-inch, I can see the full page, and as you can see on the web page, I can see a lot more content without having to scroll. So this is probably the nicest feature of having the 13-inch versus the 11-inch. Now, one downside is that I do have black bars on videos with the 6:10 aspect ratio of the 13-inch, but this isn't a huge deal as the video is still bigger than it would be on the 11-inch. The difference isn't really as big as you might expect, but it definitely is noticeable, especially as I said, on web pages and in documents, and I definitely say that it's worth that extra half pound of weight. Now, one thing I said in my Why I Love the 11-inch Air video is that the 11-inch Air could fit easily anywhere, a feature I said was only really available in the 11-inch size. but after getting the 13-inch I quickly realized the difference in size was not that big. In fact, so far I can fit the 13-inch in all the same places that I fit the 11-inch, including my Lego desk and my bed. To be honest, the difference in overall footprint between the two Airs is not very big at all, at least from what I've noticed. This is probably because I use my Air almost exclusively at home. If I was carrying it around every day, I'd probably still prefer the 11-inch. With that said, I really think that extra half pound of weight is not that big of a deal if you really value extra screen real estate. So there you have it. That is why I switched to the 13-inch Air and why I like it more than the 11-inch. Please give this video a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I finally hit that 100 subscriber mark, but I'm not stopping there. So if you haven't already, please subscribe and continue to support the channel. Thanks for watching and have a super awesome day.